I need some replacement electrical tape.
Okay, you bring me the empty and I'll get you a new roll. The cardboard cord that's left when you run out of tape.
Quentin. If you'd said to me, Bill, I want to become a beach boy, take up surfing, sit around smoking the vibes.
Awesome.
Or you'd said, Bill, I want to make it in the movies, gonna get me a walk-up in West Hollywood and a Pekingese.
Manson is 30 miles away in Vacaville.
A hop, skip, and a jump. Besides, when are you gonna find time for these fireside chats, Holden?
In California, every year, 35% of murders go unsolved. That's more unsolved murders than in any other state. It's partly due to geography. In the woods, in the mountains, ravines,
you can't get to Manson even if you're fed. CMF treats him like a fucking unicorn.
No one needs to think about psychology more than the people in Santa Cruz.
But then he manages to convince everyone that he's completely rehabilitated.
Or is it something else? In many of these crimes, the motives are not just obscure.
He would joke that they could conceal his psychiatric record, but not his fat ass.
Let's just say he was a friendly nuisance.
Oh, come on.
It was hard not to like.
So you were the arresting officer?
In the end, he lit out to Pueblo, Colorado, expecting there to be some kind of manhunt. When nobody came, he got sick of waiting, decided to turn himself in.
He made a severed head perform fellatio on him.
So basically, you just got me out here to carry your slide projector.
To help with the workload, yeah. The work we're sanctioned to do.
Kemper doesn't interest you, or is beneath you somehow?
Anybody finds out you're a Fed, there'll be a riot. Shepard finds out you've been interviewing the co-ed killer as a side project, he'll flip his shit.
It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
If you're gonna go in, you need to go in stone goddamn cold, take him by surprise, get the fuck out as quick as possible. You're not there because he's a necrophile degenerate, you're there because he's fascinating.
In addition, I have some paperwork for you to sign. A disclaimer that states, in the event of your death, or if you're taken hostage, attacked, assaulted, or otherwise abused within the correctional facility, the United States government forswears any and all liability.
I'm an instructor working out of the behavioral science unit at Quantico.
These guys are great. I've been here 5 years. We just clicked right off the bat. My mom spoke to the cops to get my psychiatric record expunged. I would not allow myself to walk into a trap because I knew exactly how their minds work from watching Wamba.
What kind of trap are you talking about?
The classic is talking too much about the crimes, over interest. You have to remain casual. They tried everything to trick me. I'm too savvy. I don't fucking talk, period. Look at the consequences. The stakes are very high. I think it's shutting the barn door after the horses bolted somewhat.
Well, what do you think the state should do with you instead?
Well, Holden, a lobotomy's not out of the question.
Lobotomy?
They lobotomized her in the 50s. She was very smart and intense.
You don't think you could benefit from psychiatry?
I already did all that in the institution. You keep looking at me like I'm a specimen.
It's difficult for me to square you with what you're in prison for.
I was living a vile, depraved, entirely parallel other life, filled with debased violence and mayhem and fear and death. An unusual M.O. Well, sure.
Well, I was gonna say signature.
An oeuvre, if you will. I'm just an extremely accomplished murderer who spent my adult life successfully evading capture until I gave myself up because I despaired of ever being caught.
His oeuvre? What the fuck, he's Stanley Kubrick?
He was extremely talkative.
He likes talking to cops. He's lonely. He could do it all day.
He's not some frenzied thrill killer, Bill. I think we need to face that.
He chopped off women's heads and had sex with the corpses. If that's not frenzied, I don't know what the hell is.
He's so articulate. He's meticulous and highly intelligent.
Yeah. He meticulously chose small, young female prey who couldn't fight back. Animal cunning.
He's self-aware and objective. Isn't that highly unusual?
He's saying everything you want to hear, just like he did with the shrinks in the institution. He knew just enough to talk his way out, then he went hunting. Don't be stupid about this.
What makes you so sure I'm being stupid?
I know these fuckers. It's only a matter of time before he hits you up for privileges. Next thing you know, he's complaining to the warden
Come
about
with me next weekend. See for yourself. He knows more about lust murder than the whole FBI behavioral science unit. We should put him on the payroll.
Would the FBI ever do that?
Doubtful. Everyone's freaked out that Berkowitz might sell his life story. New York State is moving to make that sort of thing illegal.
Can I get 2 eggs over medium, home-fried potatoes, and wheat toast with grape jelly? You've got mention-itis. You cannot stop mentioning him. How do you wrap your mind around that? He sounds like the kind of person who would tell you what you want to hear. You have to disarm him first.
You mean, like,
Lean into him. Listen intently.
I do that?
Keep your arms uncrossed. Mirror his movements. Encourage him to talk about the things he's excited about.
Are these feminine wiles?
Cross your legs in his direction.
Here's the thing. I spent 5 years as a brick agent and a couple of years at the academy. I'm squeaky clean. Suddenly it's disco and poppers and fern bars. I am up to my neck in chicks.
Don't brag, it's unbecoming. Feel it, it's all muscle, cartilaginous. That's all she lived for, man, her work and her precious co-eds, whom she mothered relentlessly.
Do you think that she neglected you for them?
Put it this way, she had a very violently outspoken position on men. My mother was a decent, upstanding, reasonable woman, but when it came to me, she had nothing but contempt, disappointment, and disdain. They deploy their minds and their sex, and they intuitively learn to humiliate.
Lust murder doesn't cut it. He did not stab and rape and decapitate Mom because he was aroused. He was conditioned to do it.
Did he say that?
As good as.
It's shtick. He learned the vernacular in the institution. He's sophisticated enough to use it.
No, that's not my instinct.
Is it your instinct that he was choosing his words carefully, or did he just spew it out?
Very carefully.
Well, he's got you pegged. He's telling you what he's guessed you want to hear.
But why would I want to hear that?
Because you're you. You told him about your university education and your sassy girlfriend and your sensitive character, and he tailored his bullshit to fit. Why did you tell him that stuff?
To loosen him up.
Why do you feel the need to tell him about your girlfriend?
Just to get him talking.
Holden, he's had 7 years in a correctional facility. He's been practicing. Don't encourage him.
I was trying to disarm him.
You're a federal agent. Don't give him anything. He's your subject. Be objective.
Phil, I've got to trust my instincts on this.
There's that word again. So in Fairfield, Iowa, you were in the dark ages, and now suddenly you have all these unimpeachable instincts.
2 weeks ago, we find her beaten within an inch of her life in the doorway to her back porch. She hasn't been robbed. She's been groped and assaulted, but not penetrated. I don't think some Latino with a shiv got scared of a little old lady. She was hovering in and out of a coma for the past 10 days. Now she's finally come around. She has no recollection whatsoever.
It would have destroyed his faith in humanity.
And you didn't recognize your assailant? He wasn't familiar?
Do you remember any moles, scars, tattoos, distinctive marks? He knifes the dog because the dog is yapping its head off.
But what kind of degenerate carves up a little dog? Maybe the kid saw the dog out front in the yard, decided to conduct a moonlight experiment with his Bowie knife, gets interrupted.
Careful, considerate old lady would bring her dog in at night.
We have been tossing the idea around that maybe it's one of these, satanic deals. You know, like maybe the dog is some kind of ritual sacrifice or something.
You need to squeeze the neighborhood kids. One of them knows something.
We had a kid like that. We brought him in for questioning twice.
Bring him in again.
We're gonna get some pushback from the family. His aunt works for the county.
Then make it formal.
Well, I'm probably gonna need a warrant.
I'm not consulting with Ed Kemper.
You know that he'll respond to your seniority. You could really smoke him out.
Well, I established the behavioral science unit several years ago. But Holden's come in with a lot of new ideas.
So Holden's the intrepid rookie investigator.
Bill taught me everything I know about criminal behavior. Not the, stories, but the psychological insights and the vernacular.
You know what I'm saying? Classic displacement activity. Because it was my retreat from the insanity of the world. They packed me off to live with my grandma. She thought I was a freak.
Is that why you shot her?
Well, they were both very controlling, aggressive, matriarchal women.
Matriarchal?
Female-centric. Get that down. That's a big antecedent. Because of the way I was conditioned by Mom. She went out to a party. She got soused. She came home alone. If a woman humiliates her little boy, he will become hostile and violent and debased. Period.
We drowned in red tape.
And there's a reason for that. The FBI is a glacial bureaucracy, but it's highly effective.
Kemper's in lockdown. What's he gonna do?
Kemper is a gigantic blabbermouth. Because if we get censured, we're off work for 2 weeks, minimum, no appeal, and you can kiss goodbye to the Gonzalez case.
Did you tell a detective in Sacramento you would intercede with the district attorney on behalf of the FBI? Some DA called me and asked why I had 2 agents in Sacramento, 2 goons. His exact words.
It's a strange case. The locals were struggling and we were trying to help figure a way forward.
What were you thinking?
Sir, at the time, we deemed this a matter of great urgency.
The circumstances were very unusual.
Assault and battery? Since when does the FBI consult on that? Not even homicide.
Unless you count a dog.
Bill, for the past 3 years, all I've heard you do is complain about how overworked you are with the road school. I gave you your assistant, and this is how you choose to spend your time?
So your old stomping grounds. I might give you the secret to win her over.
That's actually shrewd.
You don't want to wait at least till Sacramento blows over?
It is not our job to commiserate with these people. It is our job to electrocute them. How long has this been going on?
Just when we're in Sacramento.
Sir, the conversations with Kemper shed light on things we've been exploring in the behavioral sciences.
There's a clear correlation with what we're finding at crime scenes. It proves that we're on track.
Proof that the Federal Bureau of Investigation is on track after all these years. Well, golly, what a relief. I'm so pleased for us.
We're pleased, too.
Don't smart-mouth me, Holden. You fucked up the whole Gonzalez situation. You pissed off the Sacramento DA, and now you reveal to me that you've been interviewing lifers in the state penitentiary.
Sir, the insights afforded us during these visits may possibly help us identify the person responsible for the attacks in Sacramento and help prevent others.
Wrong, and wrong. Here's what it is. Burn your notes. Don't speak to me about this anymore. Don't put it in any reports. You're done.
I truly believe there is a vein here that needs to be mined.
Okay, kiddo. You're looking down the barrel. 3 whole bags. Censure, suspension, transfer.
How do we get ahead of crazy if we don't know how crazy thinks?
Okay, you may continue with your little sideshow. However, no one can know about it. Clear? You will relocate yourselves to the basement beneath behavioral sciences, reporting directly and exclusively to me.
The basement? I'm 44 years old.
You may dedicate 10 hours of your 50-hour work week to this. If I deem any aspect of it to be unwarranted, unnecessary, or unsavory, I will end it. Do you both understand?
Yes.